I would love to learn this. It's not for the project. I may use for my students.
Okay. We're recording right now. I've got it recorded.
Yeah, so I cannot hear you. You kind of lost.
Formal session on PowerPoint. And
Okay, Kevin. Okay. So now I can hear you. I cannot hear you well. Okay, so now I can.
Okay. So I was just talking into the recording just to slate in,
got it.
you know. Okay, so what I'll do then is start with a screen share of PowerPoint and sure.
Okay, so let's do first again. So the mouse. So the way it's very important. So transition feature. So you showed me one more time.
Okay. So one of the important things you have to do when working on a I mean, you may not want to do it initially when you just start working on your prototype. Because it makes it a little difficult to practice things. But eventually you will want to turn off the mouse click on all the slides.
Okay.
So when you mouse, basically when you turn off the mouse, or normally PowerPoint, what it will do is when you're running the slides, you just click the mouse anywhere on the screen, it'll go to the next slide. Okay. But when you're prototyping, when you're using a prototype, you don't want to go to the next slide. It'll be confusing. And you'll see why when we get to that point. But it's very confusing because the next slide may not be what the user wants, okay? So you have to turn off the default that PowerPoint sets up to have the mouse click anywhere on the screen, go to the next slide. You want that off. And you want that off on all of your slides. You can turn it off on individual slides, but you should have it off on all of them. Okay.
Yes, so because it should be only one option to go next.
You want to control. You want to basically control the user interface that the learner is using. You don't want the learner to go off in weird places in your prototype. You want to be able to control what they're clicking on. Okay.
Good.
And the only way to control what they're clicking on is by only allowing active buttons to move forward, and you can control those active buttons. So you click on this is normally turned on. You unclick it and hit apply to all, and it'll apply across the board. Okay.
Great.
And then let's see here. Let me close that up so you can see the screen a little better. And then here, this is a button. This is just a text. What I did is
insert text.
I just went text box. Boom. Created a text box. Typed in next. And then, or whatever I want the text button to say. You can also use a shape. There's a lot of different shape buttons here. So if you wanted to use some kind of like here's a button, a bunch of action buttons. I didn't end up using any of those, but you could.
I need to get a newer version of PowerPoint. So mine
$10 enough. $10 a month for Office 365, and I highly recommend it because you get it on like 5 different computers, and that means I have it on my Mac, I have it on my iPad, I have it on my iPhone. I let my wife use it.
So okay, what is it again? So you said it's
Office 365 subscription. It's just $10 a month, and you can put the whole Office suite on up to 5 computers. It's $10 a month. It is not bad at all. You look and it's like, oh man, I can't buy the program, but you get free updates. It updates all the time. It keeps everything. You get a free subscription to the OneDrive cloud, which I use for everything. Or not everything, but I use it for a lot of stuff. A lot of my school stuff. I put all of my school stuff.
Okay, do you pay until you pay it off, or you pay just?
It's $10 a month, just like any other subscription, like you're subscribing to a newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you stop paying, you lose the ability to use the program. But
do you lose your files as well?
You don't lose your files. You just can't open them in the Office 365. But there's a lot of third-party programs. You have Google Docs. You can open them in that still.
But it's not. Okay, got it.
All right, so you can create your own button. And then here's how you make buttons work. So you right-click on it, go to Action Settings. Can you see that? I know it's at the bottom of the screen.
I
go to Action Settings, and now here are the different actions that you can assign to the mouse button, or to that button. Now there's a mouse click, okay, and then there's the mouse over. All right, so there's two different options with the mouse. So a mouse click means that when you click on it with the mouse, it does a particular action, and it's one of these actions, okay? If it's mouse over, that just means if your mouse goes over that button, you don't have to click, just over it, it does an action, okay? So on mouse click, this button will just hyperlink to the next slide.
Yeah,
Easy
so you
as
have
that.
to select,
Yeah, you have to select so normally it's set at none. So I'll go to hyperlink, and then I can select to any particular slide, and here's all the slides that I could do. But I just want it to go to the next slide right now. So boom, next slide.
Okay.
You can also have it run a program if you wanted. I haven't messed with that yet, but I'm sure you can put like a QuickTime player in there or something like that, so that you'll show a movie or run some kind of small macro or whatever. I don't really mess with that. You can have it play a sound, so whenever you click on it, it will play some kind of audio, so beep, bong, whatever, applause. You know, if you do something right. Oh yeah, I shied away from the audio in this prototype. I just didn't think it was that necessary. I've highlighted the click. That's not really necessary, and I don't really see that being as a big deal. But maybe it will for other things. Let's see, mouse over, highlight when mouse over. That could be actually pretty good. I'm going to change it to that. That's good. So boom. All right. So now we can go and test that out. I did a lot of testing. This is how I did a lot of my stuff. Is just like I'll do a small change and then test it. And so it's play from current slide. I don't know if you can still see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So when I go over the the next button, it kind of highlights. You see that?
Yes, I see it.
So, all right, I'm gonna cut out of this. All right, and then so that's how you set up a button. So same thing here. I just copied that button, so you don't have to make it several times. I just selected the button. I just Control C and then Control V. It places it in the exact same place that you had it in the previous slide. Very handy. And that's one thing.
So what happens? Okay, hold on. So what happens if you change the order of the slide? So then next it's going to be...
That button will always go to the next slide. So if I were to add another slide in between the first one and the second one, it'll go to whatever was the one that's sequentially after that. If you want it to go to a specific slide, you go to select that specific slide. If the specific slide, here I'll show you, like let's say this one, I want it to always go to this slide, the next slide right now, but it may not always be the next slide. I may add some slides to it. So what I'll do is I'll select this, go to Action Settings, go to Select Slide, and go to...
And then you select specific slide.
The specific slide. Now, if another slide falls in there, it will still go to that same slide that you selected, even if it changes sequentially in the order. So right now, that slide was number 3. If it changes to 4, 5, 6, or 30, it's always going to go to that slide.
Oh, it's going to recognize even the changes.
Even the changes if you select it as the slide to go to. But if you still have it set for next slide, it'll always go to the next slide.
Yeah, so that's what it did. Yeah, so that's what took me a long time. So when I was doing my slides, I wanted to go to specific, like, okay, so return to, okay, first it took me time how to do it. So then I figure out, so because I would, okay.
So that's
makes
important.
sense now.
That's important.
Okay.
All right, so this is the same thing. Haven't really done anything different here. Haven't done anything different here.
Okay. I was something else. Okay. How you move those little creatures?
Yeah, I'm kind of just going down the line. All right, so here is the first of the app here. Now, Now, when you notice that when I hover over these things, there were an error. That sword would pop up.
Yes.
And, so I did that by doing that same action thing. So I select this, go to Action Settings. Now it has a mouse over effect set. And it hyperlinks. So when the mouse goes over the survey locations, it hyperlinks to slide 6.
6. And slide 6 has the sword.
Slide 6, if you go to slide 6, it's right here, boom, it has the sword. If I were to in this one, if I were to go to the action settings on it, see it says mouse over slide 7.
It goes to the
and that one has the sword on it. And so that for each one, it's like that. So no matter which one, like if I were to go back to this tide pool one, the tide pool creatures,
Mm-hmm.
goes to slide 8. So it means it'll go
Mm-hmm.
back to, I'm on slide 9 right now, but
Mm-hmm.
since I hover over that, it goes back to slide 8. Okay?
Okay, so Kevin, how did you make so the pictures are so transparent? So because
What do you mean?
some like Thor, it's so you see it is a transparent. It doesn't, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
That is,
doesn't have any back color.
yeah,
Yes, I was trying to remove it and it didn't work.
okay, that is something a little different. That has nothing to do in PowerPoint. That is the
Mm-hmm.
graphic I used.
Oh, okay.
Well, sort of. I found the sword graphic. This. Let's table that for right now. I'll get back to that because that requires a different program.
No, because because I was trying to insert some pictures in my project. It's not this one. It's
What you
my
need to
work.
do is to find a picture file that is a transparency, which is a PNG file, not a JPEG, not a GIF. It's a PNG file, and those are normally transparencies, although not always. Sometimes they don't put a transparent layer in there, but PNG files have the capability of having transparencies. And
yeah, because it drove me crazy for my work.
Yep.
I had to and each time I go to a picture, I try to insert or clip or something. It always comes
with the big
square
box. With the square, yeah. You don't.
And I couldn't get rid of that.
Yeah. I can take a JPEG image and make it into a PNG and delete things with it, and actually, I did that with some of the pictures of the animals, the starfish and the crab and everything. The starfish one, I just grabbed a picture that somebody took of a starfish in a tide pool, and I just cut out the starfish and made it a transparency.
So you have a program, yes?
Photoshop.
So you have
I use Photoshop. Yeah, that's why I said in the email that I'd be happy to drop out backgrounds for you, because I know that's something that not everybody can do.
Is it expensive to have a Photoshop?
Photoshop. I pay $30 a month for the entire Adobe Creative Suite, which consists of Photoshop, Lightroom, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Acrobat Pro, and innumerable amount of other programs. Those are the ones I primarily work in, but it has a lot of programs in there. Dreamweaver. It does not have Articulate, though, sadly. I'm really upset about it.
I used to have a Dreamweaver for my website, and then I stopped using it. So
it has a ridiculous amount of programs in it.
Exactly.
So I primarily use it for Photoshop, Lightroom, and Adobe Premiere and Acrobat Pro. I used Acrobat Pro last semester for the surveys that we did for 540. I used Adobe Acrobat for that. So.
Okay, so yes, I see the sword. That's how you did that. Okay.
All right, so then we go into here.
That's how you move this little creature over the text.
Yeah. Well, there's several different slides. If you look here, look how many slides I have of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
There is a lot. All right.
Yeah, but you just copy paste, and you move a little bit.
And I change things, or no, not really move a little bit. I change things around or put actions into it. So like this one, the only thing that happens in this is actually here. I can bring up the animations pane. Bringing up the animation, the panes here are really handy. So this shows all the animations taking place in the screen. So I can play all. So the only things that happen here is boom, boom. Those guys pop up and that dissolves in. That's all that happens. Then you click on next, and it goes, and the next button goes to this very next slide, and then the next slide just dissolves in that more text. That's it. And then this one. Play next. Now all the animals pop up on this slide. Okay.
Oh. And
then on this one, this is just a teeter effect on each of the animals. I wanted to be able to. This is a little goofy thing I thought was cool, but it's not really necessary. If you mouse on this one, if you mouse over the buttons, hold on a second. Okay. If you mouse over the buttons or the creatures here, if you mouse over the creatures, then they will wiggle.
Yes,
Okay.
I noticed that.
Yeah, and that's done by that whole linking thing. So this one has that feature where I go action settings and mouse over goes to slide 14. Well, slide 14 is this slide, and the only action that takes place on this slide is that guy wiggling.
And you can add this by doing the animation, yes?
Yeah, I clicked on the guy, and then I added the teeter animation right there, and then
And that tells you
and then it gives you
what it is doing?
Yeah, it says the teeter animation just goes do 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 do. That's it.
Yes,
And then I changed the timing on it. So I had it repeat so it'll just keep on teetering until the next click.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll just keep teetering infinitely until someone clicks. Now,
Okay, so when do you work? So Kevin, so when do you go to work if you do all this?
I'm a full-time student.
Oh, so you're not working,
No,
so you're
not
doing
working this
just
semester.
this. Oh,
Yep.
okay, okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah, so
makes
that's
student.
I'm taking care. I'm with my family or doing errands, and sometimes I do odd jobs and do some photo work.
Okay, good.
But
Okay.
that's why I was able to kind of concentrate on this for the past 2 days. And only do this.
Okay. That makes sense. Otherwise, I would not imagine how you could do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now something that's important to note about the timing is this thing right here. When does the effect start? And the effect could start on a click. It could affect with the previous action or after the previous action. And this is something that you have to get used to, and you really got to get an idea of what you need. If you have everything start to click at a click, that means that you're having the user have to click all the time for every little action. It sucks. Don't do it. Let it try to be as automated as possible and only have them click when absolutely necessary. Okay, so that's why I have it with previous right now. So with previous means that when it transitions to this screen, that's the action. So it'll start teetering. So basically, right when it transitions to the screen, it starts teetering. If I had it after, then it would be when it's after it transitions and then it starts teetering. Okay. So it'll be a little delay, which doesn't matter too much here, but later on it makes some sense when you have multiple effects. So that's what I did. Each of these animals have the teeter effect going on. So I have several of those screens that did that.
This comes with this version of PowerPoint.
Yeah, this is the most. If you get Office 365 it keeps you completely up to date. It's the brand newest. Whenever there's an update, it'll say update your system. Boom, it'll automatically update you, and then you'll be good to go. So yeah. Now here is where things get a little interesting. On the hermit crab, I have an effect that says, mouse over, to slide 13. Hold on, got to go back to slide 13. So here is the slide where the hermit crab is teetering, okay? And on the action for the hermit crab on that one is a mouse click. So if you click on the hermit crab in the slide that it's teetering, okay? So the idea was to mouse over the hermit crab. It links to the page where it starts teetering. And then you can click on the hermit crab. And when you click on the hermit crab, it takes you to slide 19. Now, slide 19 is where action starts to really happen. And that's where all of this effects start taking place. So I have all of the other animals on there dissolve. They disappear. Okay? Then the hermit crab, I put an action in place, a path animation. There's this path animation, which is just another effect, and you have all these different paths to choose from. I just chose a straight line. So I made it move in a straight line, and I chose where the ending spot is. So now the hermit crab moves to a particular spot.
I see. That's why it's like, so the vision, it goes over the page and stands next to the text. Huh?
Yeah.
So, nice.
So it moves over to a particular spot. The scroll right here, the scroll thing, then dissolves in. The hermit crab text dissolves in. This text right here dissolves in. And then this button down here, Explore More, dissolves in. So all those effects take place. These all happen at the same time. If you notice down here, the timing, it says with previous. So all of these happen right when you transition to the screen. Okay? I switched the duration of the move to 2 seconds. You can control the duration. You can make it move really slow or go really fast. I kind of chose a moderate speed. And so it moved into place, and then the text all happens, and then I have Explore More is the only actionable item on here. So after you finish reading it, you can click on Explore More, and it takes you back. See, where does it take you? Action settings. It takes you back to the next slide. Oh yeah, this is important. Takes you to the next slide because I have to have a transition out of what's going on here. I have to be able to dissolve out all of this information and have the animals come back on the screen. And so I had to have a special slide made just to do that. And that is the next slide.
Just to make this effect. Okay.
Just so this slide is all about bringing things into place, letting you read the information, and then the next slide that it goes to is about taking it out and putting all the animals back. So that's what happens. It goes to this next slide, and here you'll see the hermit crab then moves back into place. So here, the vertical scroll disappears. This is a transition to dissolve out the scroll, dissolve out the text.
So do you show the direction where it will go this way and then goes this way?
See, there it is right here. See? It shows this is that's where it begins. That's where it ends.
It ends, okay.
And it ends right back where I put it. That was a little tricky to get done. You kind of have to play around with it because it could go back into a slightly different spot. So I had to play around with it to make sure that it went back to the right place. But it's just testing, just making sure. So, and then all of these animals then dissolve back into place, and the crab is still teetering. So at the end, the crab will be teetering, and then we're back into the normal where if you mouse over it, it links you to the page where that animal will teeter again. So that's how that works. Here's one for the turtle. So the same thing for the turtle. That's the out. So you see the turtle starts there, moves there, and then in this one,
you do one by one.
Did one by one. Yep, one by one. And I would have continued onto each one, but I'm just like, you know what? I think we got the point. If I did them all, I probably could be done today. But I didn't want to push it.
It's okay. I mean, if you can do it tomorrow, that's good.
Oh no, I'm not going to do the rest of them. I'm not going to do the rest.
So you decided just to do this.
I just decided it's a prototype, so I could have gone through the whole thing, and if this was a paying gig, I might have. But I think the prototype is just here to show the fundamentals of what can happen. And that's why I only had those two. I ended up graying out these or making them making them black and white with a green around it though, just to show that they are inactive.
Did you make like a back color, how you call it? So how did you make them green? So did you select special?
How did I make the green glow effect?
No, how you made this? Yes, how did you make the background?
Okay. So I click on the. You mean on each of the animals, the little background? Okay, so I click on the animal. I go to picture format. Okay. And I'm gonna bring up my format pane. The format pane just lets me choose options for that particular picture. And there are all these, like I can fill, I can do all these special. So here's glow. And I just did a preset glow, and here's all these different glows, and I just selected a preset and made
it's amazing how much this PowerPoint has options.
Oh yeah.
I mean, mine is so old.
Well, the cool thing
it's like 100 years old.
Here's a cool thing I did. Let's see here, picture color. I wanted to make this black and white, so I just took out all the saturation. Saturation is color, and so I just removed all the color from it. You can make it really colorful, bright and rainbowy, or I can just bring it down to black and white.
Yeah, I see.
So I just made them all black and white to kind of show that they're inactive. So while leaving the turtle and the hermit crab color so that they are active. So that's what I did. And then here, this is a bucket that I set as with an action on it. So when you click on it, an action tips it. These are all the same pictures that I had before. I just changed them, made them transparent, so that you don't see the actual animal. You kind of just see a glowing silhouette. And then this is, and you click on the button here, the bucket. it goes to this slide, which it animates it, and then out pops the hermit crab.
And it looks like it comes out.
Yeah, it looks like it comes out. Yep.
Okay, wonderful.
And then, yep, kind of just goes down the line.
Amazing, Kevin. So you know so much, and it's like endless. It's like eternity.
Oh yeah. So,
it's endless.
Again, I just started working with this yesterday after we met. I mean, I worked with I knew some ideas of I've worked with PowerPoint before, but I had never done a prototype with it, and so I just knew how some things were possible, and I just figured it out. And I Googled a question. Like, there was a couple questions I had, like, how do I make a item and an action take place, an animation take place on a click, you know? And so I had to mess with that to make that work and get a little
okay, do you know what I was trying to find out? So, but I don't know. I don't think it's possible. So with PowerPoint, so can you match things? Like, so because I wanted to try to make a test, like, so you would match, so the title pulls to the particular.
Okay, you can't. That's what I was trying to do with this with this whole thing.
Can you? So because I was trying to do testing.
So I'll show you what I wanted to do, and I was not able to. Just PowerPoint was not able to do.
I don't think so. PowerPoint doesn't.
Hold on a second. Let me.
So it does offer you.
Hold on a second here. Screen share. Okay, so you're seeing the full screen of the title. Okay, so what I plan to do with this, so I tap it, boom. I wanted to be able to click and drag the.
That's what, and put it there. Can you?
You cannot. I have not figured out a way. You might be able to, but I didn't.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
I don't
think so what I did to emulate that effect is make it a click, and then it just goes to. So like boom, and then tap here,
and then tap, click,
and then I put
it's like
an emotion.
Another slide.
Yep, that's another slide that has the animation that just made him go there to kind of simulate that click and drag effect. Okay, and then so yeah, same thing here. Boom, out comes the enemy, and then boom, tap here. Simulating that effect of clicking and dragging. That was the alternative I found to doing the actual click and drag. It's just PowerPoint is not capable of handling a click and drag user interface. Articulate might, or Captivate will probably be able to do that. Those can probably handle it, but PowerPoint was not meant to do that. I mean, I don't think PowerPoint was really meant to do what I'm doing here or what we're doing here, but it just can, because we're kind of like we're tinkering around with it in innovative ways to make it do these interesting things. So yeah.
Thank you very much. So can you send me this? So this link, so recording, I can listen later.
Yeah,
and
sure.
So do to some of my school project at work.
Yeah. You want me to show you a couple more things just to make things a little easier on you?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take, for instance, the survey one. Now this it's kind of monotonous, but I'm a little OCD, so I didn't mind. But it can be very monotonous for some people, because what happens here is that when you mouse over, when the presentation is active and currently running, when you mouse over each of these buttons, it automatically links to this
so
other
you would
one.
like to have big.
All right. So this can be kind of monotonous, because you have to go through and click here or click on the button.
Show me the button. Show me where you're clicking. Show me.
I am. I don't know if can you see that? So here, I'll zoom in. So I zoom in.
I see you.
Oh, you see me right now?
Only see you.
I'm sorry.
I like to see you, but
I thought I was sharing.
No, not.
Okay, there we go. I thought I was sharing. Okay, so here on this screen with the map, it can be kind of monotonous to go through and have to put actionable items on each of the buttons. Okay, so what I did, so I clicked on this. This is what you have to do. You click on that, action settings, select effect, go to the slide, boom, and then do that for each of the 9 or 8 buttons that we had. 8 buttons.
Oh, so you didn't copy and paste. So you did individually.
Well, hold on. I did that for the first one. I did 8, okay? Now, when you go to the second screen, like when you highlight or mouse over this button, it links you to this one where boom. Then you have to do it again for all of them.
So it's
and
like
that could be
18.
Oh no, it's more. It's like
more
8
than this.
8 times 8, 64 times you have to do it. Okay, it's a lot.
So how did you do it?
Well, what I ended up doing is I would do it on one page. Copy the buttons that I ended up using and pasting them on the next page, and then making adjustments to the 1 or 2 that I need to adjust.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that makes it a little quicker. So yeah, that makes it a bit quicker.
And then you just so relink them to the next one. Okay.
Yeah, just keeps that. So you just adjust. You make small adjustments. You try to copy them in bulk and make small adjustments.
Yeah, instead of recreating all this over and over again.
Yeah. So, and then with yours here, if you notice, I've got the different zones highlighted.
Yeah, so how did you fade that?
The fading? The fading wasn't too difficult. So, so each of this is a box right here. You notice that's a box.
Yes. So you created a box. Okay.
I created a box. I put it in action item. So if you click on the box, it actually takes you to a slide.
Okay.
If you mouse over the box, it'll take you to a slide. So it's like that sort of thing. But this box is same as a box, but the only difference is that I added a fill. I added a fill, but made it 40% transparent. So that's why it's kind of grayed out.
That's why.
I just made it transparent. Yeah. And then this one is just a box with a glow on it to just gather your attention. So I did the whole glow effect here. And I put different colors of glow on each of them.
Okay, makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how
great tools.
That's how that worked. Now, let me save this just in case. Now, I'll show you the whole. Did you want to see about the making transparencies?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I don't have the program that you have.
Yeah, but you can I think there are free programs that can do it as well.
Yeah, because I use for my Russian one, I use a lot of visual things, and when I copy and paste or like I insert pictures, they always comes in white box. I'm used to. I would make maybe white here, white there, but it doesn't look as clean.
Now some pictures are a lot more difficult than others to do.
Because I was trying to remove.
I'm going to show you kind of a medium difficulty picture. Okay.
Yeah, but did you notice? So the PowerPoint also has like an option to remove the background.
It's possible. I noticed that some. Oh yeah, it's not very good.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it's not very good. But for some pictures, it might be very easy. So this is just a picture someone took that I found on Google of a sea anemone. Okay. And this is Photoshop.
But what's the program? Oh, it is a Photoshop.
Yep.
Okay.
This is Photoshop. So what I ended up doing is here the photos. Now, I don't want to get into a huge amount of depth about Photoshop. It can be very in depth. But these are the layers that are in the picture. Okay, you can create layers. Oh, that reminds me. I need to show you one other thing in PowerPoint before we end. So what I did is I'm going to duplicate this layer. So now I have 2 of the exact same picture in one on this. I'm going to delete this background layer. Now, background layers are locked. You can unlock them, but it's locked. I find it easy just to copy it and then delete it. So now I have a single layer that is unlocked, okay? I'm going to go over to this tool here, which is a quick selection tool, okay? And this kind of automatically finds edges in your picture and selects them. So if you notice, I'm selecting the sea anemone, and it's kind of highlighting little parts of it. Selecting, and going through. It's not going to be perfect.
This is a lot of clicks.
I'm only clicking once. I'm just clicking and dragging right now. That's all I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just clicking and dragging. And it's selecting all the different parts of the sea anemone. And then I could go and fine tune it, and like remove some of the area that I selected, but I'm just going to keep it as that. Then I'm going to go to select inverse. So now instead of selecting the see an enemy, I selected everything else and then hit delete.
Oh.
And then I deleted the background. So now
yeah.
So it's not perfect. There's all these little spots here and here.
Yeah, but it's different from what it is.
And then I just file, save as, and then I could save it as a PNG file. PNG and name it whatever I want. And there, I now have a PNG file that I'm not going to save it because I already did this. And let me show you how it'll end up looking.
So one more.
So where's my? Why can't I stop the screen share? Screen share suddenly disappeared. Oh, there it is. Cool. And so screen share.
Okay, so you wanted me to show one more thing. So
yeah, well, I was going to show you. Here are all the pictures of the. These are all the things that I took out.
Yeah.
And they started like this.
Exactly. In the box.
In the box, yeah. So the ones that have the white background were very easy to take out. They were basically already dropped out. These I had us work a little bit more on because it doesn't differentiate the background from the foreground.
Shade.
Yeah, so it's a little more difficult, but it's not horrible. So, yep. Now let me show you one other thing that I found out just late last night in PowerPoint that I found was super helpful. Okay, so when you're working in PowerPoint, you often have a lot of different layers that are going on. Okay, tons of different layers. And
layers of what? Of
objects on the screen. Like here, let me share one more time.
Hello.
Hey, Angeles.
Oh, here, Angela.
So on here, like this is a different layer than this. This is a different layer than this.
I don't see it. I don't see anything.
You don't. Yeah, you don't. Oh,
I'm
black.
Wait, do you see a PowerPoint right now?
No, no, we see just you and black screen.
Okay, hold on. Let me try it again. How about now?
No, now again, it's just black screen.
Okay, let me try one other way here. How about now?
Oh, now I see you. I mean, I see PowerPoint.
Okay, great. Yeah. So there are all sorts of layers going on here. Okay, there's probably, let's think here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think about 15 different layers going on here.
Okay, so you mean slides, yes?
No, no, I don't mean slides. I mean layers.
What is it, the layer? Show me what is it.
There can be multiple layers on one slide. Each item here on the screen is a layer. It's a layer. Okay. And you will really see that when you do this. Right-click on any item and go to reorder overlapping objects or reorder objects. And watch this.
And
boom. You see all the layers now.
Oh. So this is with the new PowerPoint. So you cannot do it on other ones.
I don't know if you can do it with the old one because I don't have it, but you can try. You might be able to. But now you can.
So how did you do it again? Show me again how you did
cancel. So it's just you click on anywhere on an item. On an item. It has
so right click or left click?
Right click. Reorder overlapping objects or just reorder objects. Either one of those will do. And it brings up this option.
And that's what it is.
And now you can move stuff around on the layer. Now it doesn't look like it's doing anything different. Okay? Does not look like it's doing anything
different. What program is this, Kevin?
This is PowerPoint.
Yes, but this is normal PowerPoint that we're using?
No, it's not. It's what he uses.
Yeah, it's the most updated version of PowerPoint there is. It's whatever's the most recent version of PowerPoint.
Yeah. No, Angela, it's the best, but I don't have a version so like this.
Probably,
yes.
Right?
Yeah,
yes.
I pay $10 a month. I pay $10 a
No.
month for this hot chair suite. So
yeah, I have 2010. Yep.
So the important thing about doing this is if this layer right here, this the iPad screen was on the top, it makes it incredibly difficult to change things underneath it, because look,
Right.
let's say I want to click on the text and I want to change the text right here.
You're not able to do that.
I can't do it. I can't change the text. I can hit tab and cycle through all the objects, but it's really hard to change the text. So if I right click, go to reorder objects and move that text up to the top, and then I can hit OK, and now I can change it really easy.
Okay. Wow. Amazing.
Now,
So much work.
Another problem is that if you are in you're actually using the interface. So the presentation is working and you're using the interface and you have, like for instance in ours here, you have that iPad screen on the top layer, but you have linkable items underneath it that you need to click on.
So how do you fix it? How do you fix it?
You reorder it.
So you have to remove the layers and reorder it.
No, you don't have to remove the layers. You just go here and then
yes,
move it back.
to reorder. Yeah.
Just move it backwards. That's all you do. Is just move it into place so that there's nothing in the way of nothing covering up the link that somebody needs to click on.
Okay, so how do you put it back? So when you fix everything,
I'm just clicking and dragging it and moving it around, just reordering it, putting it in its proper place.
Well, you have 12 layers there.
I have 15. There was one of mine had like 20 something.
I see that. I saw that.
At 15, yeah. So one of my slides had like 50 or had 20 something, like 21, 22.
Oh, amazing. So Kevin, thank you for this wonderful lecture. So can you please email me that link or share with us?
For the video? Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing right now.
Because it's extremely valuable. So what you did. Thank you. It was like, I don't know why they don't teach here things like this. It will be very useful.
Well,
but they expect us to know.
Yeah, well, there are some.
It has to be our major, probably, no?
There are some things that are in a basic skill set for this industry that you kind of have to pick up on your own. This is not something that they're going to teach you. You know, it's like a lot of like my skills in Photoshop. I never took a class on that. I just learned it. And you just have to find a reason to learn a program and sit down for a weekend.
You need to go to the tutoring.
I did take an adult ed class on Photoshop. It was like a 2-week course, and it went through the basics of not Photoshop, but PowerPoint. I went through like a 2-week PowerPoint on Photoshop on a 2-week adult ed course on PowerPoint that just went through the basics to kind of introduce me on how things function. It didn't go into this detail at all. At all. It just showed, you can do hyperlinks. You can, type up your presentations. You can create presentation notes and things like that. It was the basic stuff. So, but that kind of started me into this whole thing of, I could use PowerPoint as a prototype mechanism. And yes, people in the learning design industry frequently will say that that's a proper form to use, or it's a proper use of PowerPoint. So, this project that we're working on really gave me a reason to dive into it thick. And so I kind of just gulped up that opportunity and ran with it. But anybody has the opportunity to do that at any time. Just like, for instance, you may know I'm a member of Toastmasters. Well, Toastmasters is a great motivator for learning new programs. And I learned Keynote, which is the Apple version of PowerPoint. Because of Toastmasters. I just wanted to figure out Keynote, and it's great compatibility with iPads.
Yeah, the thing is that you have a purpose. You are
exactly. So what is the Toastmasters?
There, no?
So what is the Toastmasters?
Toastmasters. It's you can go to toastmasters.org. It tells you all about it. It's basically an organization for public speaking. And
you need to do presentations.
You are supposed to do presentations, although it's all voluntary. You don't have to. You can go there just to mingle and talk to people, but the whole process of Toastmasters, the whole purpose of being there is in order to learn or to experiential learning. Learn by doing, learn by watching other people.
I never knew that.
There's program books that say, hey, here's a list of speeches that you could do, and kind of gives you tips and ideas, and everybody's very supportive in it. The whole idea behind Toastmasters is to give a very positive environment for learning how to speak. It's a place that you can go and mess up, and everybody's just like very positive.
Okay, so do they have the same programs for people to learn? So technology, I mean, not technology.
Toastmasters?
Yeah, I mean, for nothing like this.
No, they don't. No, it's
so maybe you need to start it.
Toastmasters is specific for public speaking.
But similar for.
But what it does is it gives you a reason to learn other things. Okay, like my last speech I did here, I can even show you my PowerPoint. Or I did a keynote presentation. Let's see here, where is it? Keynote.
No, because in my case, I wish I could have 48 hours per day so that I can learn.
We don't have it.
Yeah, like for example, I do enjoy PowerPoint, and I realize I know absolutely nothing. I learn certain things, but I don't have time. I wish I could have. I don't know, it would be, I was watching the video how some people have chat rooms, so when they get together to learn certain tools and they do step by step and they kind of do PowerPoint, this and that.
You kind of have to search those sorts of things out, and I don't know if it's possible to find that sort of stuff, but you just got to give yourself a reason to figure it out, whatever motivates you. So, but yeah, this was my keynote presentation, just like PowerPoint, but it's an Apple for Toastmasters. So I designed a speech that fit that fit a particular project, and then I can control the whole thing from my iPad actually, which was really cool. And it has presenter notes on my iPad, so I was able to kind of read my speech or give me notes. It was very helpful, and I learned it only for the sake of Toastmasters. It just gave me a reason. So I can go through the whole thing. And
okay, so guys, looks beautiful. I have to get up tomorrow very early. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. So can you email me the link later when you're done?